Alright, I want to thank everybody for watching the second part of Reconnecting the Civilizations of the Ancestors. Let's get into this. Again, we're going to be dealing with mainly the river valley cultures and some of the surrounding areas. Go the four early river valley civilizations. You have Mesopotamia around the Tigris and Euphrates, the Egyptians on the Nile, the Indus Valley on the Indus River, and ancient China on the Hanghi River. We're going to talk a little bit about Machu Picchu today. Alright, let's check this out. Unlocking the secrets of Mohenjo-Daro. Mohenjo-Daro was one of the many settlements that were located in the Indus River Valley. These settlements became known as the Indus Valley Civilization. It is also called Harappan Civilization after another city at the time. Harappa, the civilization flourished for about 800 years from between 2700 BC to 1900 BC. And you got the Mayan bridges. The Mayan city of Yaxchilan is sited within a giant omega of the Usumacinta River. This circular bend in the river developed a 3.2 kilometer wide landmass within the inner curve of the river. This protected area formed within the confines of the inner curve of the river created a natural fortress for the city. However, the river is in a flood state for 6 months of the year. And during the raining season, the broad and swiftly flowing rivers isolated the city from access to its domain across the river. So here goes Mesopotamia. You can see the Tigris and Euphrates. This is the Tigris. This is the Euphrates. We pretty much started all our mother civilizations in the same area that was relative to what we knew. You have the Olmec civilization. They lived in the forests along the rivers of Mexico's east coast. Here goes a depiction of the Mayans utilizing the river. This is the oldest boat carving in Egypt. And here's one of the boats of Abydos in Egypt. Here's the Egyptian figurine. You got the Indus Valley. You see it looks just like the Egyptian boat. This is one of the oldest carvings they found in the Indus Valley. And then you have another Indus Valley boat carving. And you see the bird symbolism. Here's another one in the Hindu Kush area. Indus Valley script. That's the one we seen earlier. Here's another Indus Valley boat depiction. Then we go all the way to Easter Island with a boat on one of the statues' back. And then we check out the pre-Inca Egyptian boats made of reeds. Now you have the Raw expedition. So there's a man named Thor H. And he's probably the best known proponent of the ideal of human travel and cultural exchange across the ocean in ancient times. And you can't say this is Afrocentrism because this isn't even the black dude. Okay, his work first came to worldwide attention in 1947 with his Kon-Tiki expedition. This serious successful experiment with a replicated South American blossom raft demonstrated the practical feasibility of pre-Columbian contacts across the Pacific and Polynesia. In 1970, he built a replica of an ancient reed ship, and with an international crew of 6, managed to easily cross the Atlantic Ocean from the coast of North Africa to the New World, following the wind and currents. This journey from the port of Safa in Morocco to Barbados took less than 2 months. In the academic world, there was and is great skepticism and some profound misunderstandings regarding the underlying thesis and the perceived results of his work. The purpose of this article is to illuminate the intent and conclusions of the experimental reed boat expeditions. And that's something I think y'all should check out. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. Just know that it was completely possible to make those trips in reed boats. So let's get to similar depictions of the guys. This is a very similar map that I showed you at the beginning of the lecture. And you see the blue colored gods in all the similar civilizations. Let's go through a couple. We have Malik Tas is one of the central figures of the Yazidi religion. In the Yazidi creation stories, God created the world and entrusted it to take care of the heptad of 7 holy beings, often known as angels, or Hefsir, the 7 mysteries. And that is the peacock angel. And then we go on to the ancient Aztec rain god, Tlaloc. And he is a representation of a rain god, wearing a particular mask with large round eyes and long fangs. And it's dated back to about 3rd to 8th century AD. And here you go, white folks done dug them up, let their kids play on top, the dogs stand on it and shit. Here go some more representations of him. And this is Happy, the Egyptian god, in Oman. You have the rain god Chak, the Mayan rain god, especially important in the Yucatan region of Mexico, where he was depicted in classic times with protruding fangs, large round eyes, and a proboscis-like nose. And this is a depiction of him. We're gonna go to the Ashyo-Dia, immovable one. It is one of the 5 Buddhas, and symbolizes overcoming of passions such as anger and hatred towards other beings. Now we're gonna go to the 5 wisdom Buddhas. We're gonna find him, go down, immovable or unshakable Buddha. The direction is east, color is blue, symbol is the thunderbolt, and if you go down to the earthly element, it's water. Same different representation, different place, same meaning. Now this depicts the Hindu deity Shiva and Parvati playing a game they call Chupar in this valley. Now here you have Krishna and Radha playing what they call Pachisi, the same game. And here you have the Aztecs, ancient Aztecs, playing the same thing all the way across the world. These are the dice they found in Mohenjo-Daro. And here's the Mayan maze god compared to Buddha. Now you see the mushroom symbolism again. He also has the hawk on top of his head. And here you see Buddha, one mushroom, two mushroom, then the third one on top. The sun symbolism in the background, the same as the horse, and the hand symbolism. You have the serpent symbolism of Egypt and Maya. The prayer stance of Egypt and ancient Maya. The smiting of the enemies of Egypt and Maya. And this is the Egyptian god Bes. This is ancient Aztec. It's the same thing. You see the feathers coming off of his head, tongue sticking out, the eyes. It's the same thing, just a different representation. And here goes different representations of Bes around the world. Bes, here goes his ancient Greece, New Zealand. You have them in the middle of the Mayan calendar in the Americas. The Hindu goddess is a representation of Bes. The Gorgon, here he is in the Aztec and the Greek. Here he is again at the Nazca region, in the Nazca region, and this is the Mayan jaguar mask, and you see it's the same thing, the same exact thing. This is also in the Nazca region. It looks just like a Mayan structure. And here you have the Olmecs. This is the Olmec statue. You see the headdress? It's the same exact thing. You can't say these are not the same people. Now you have the this is another Olmec statue. And you see the headdress? It's the same thing. And here goes the Easter Island taking the same kneeling prayer stance as the Olmec I showed you earlier with the Egyptian. Now you have this in Cambodia, Hathor, the same representation. And in the next lecture I will show y'all why this means something right here, this left leg. That left leg is always going to be out intentionally. You see the same thing here in Egypt. Now I'm pretty sure we all seen this, the Bantu knots of the Buddha. And here is the Buddha figurine. And a lot of people will tell you when you look up the Olmecs that they're the only civilization to create giant heads like that. And it's not true. There's some in Egypt as well. But here's the Buddha, the Olmec head. If you cut him in half, it's the same features. Now this is Angkor Wat. This is one of the last ruling kings of Angkor Wat. I mean, look at him. You can tell that is the African man. This is the early Khmer temples architecture, the striking similarities of the Bangkok and Borobudur temple in Java, going into architectural details such as the gateways and the stairs and the upper terrace. We're gonna get into that. First, I want to show y'all the Aztec civilization and how much it looks like that. Now, this is the Aztec capital city. along the Gulf Coast. Now here's Angkor Wat, and you see the long walkways. See the long walkways? It's the same thing. This is the same architecture applies in just a different representation. Now the Aztec capital, it was built on a man-made island in the middle of a lake connected by shore by 3 causeways. It contained huge pyramids, floating gardens, and canals, and was destroyed by the Spanish in 1521. Now why would they destroy something like that? The savages. It's just another way of another way of saying non-European speaking Europeans. But here are the soldiers of Angkor Wat that came through and knocked the noses off. They hated seeing us. Wherever they went around the world, they saw us and they knocked the noses off. And go another one, Happy Brother. You see the elongated ears. Same thing you will see in Easter Island with the elongated ears. Same thing you will see with the Olmecs with the elongated ears. Here goes the Indus Valley region, elongated ears. This is Solomon Island, elongated ears. And here's the beautiful people of Africa with the elongated ears and the jewelry to hold it down. Now this is a statue of a woman found in Peru. This is found in the Benin, Nigeria area, and this was found in China 1600 to 1046 BC. And the Shang were also called Naki, which literally means black man. Come on, y'all think it's a game and people want to deny this shit but have no factual rebuttals. Okay, so when proof was found in 1978 that some of the Easter Island statues once had inlaid eyes, it came as a shock to many researchers who opposed the idea on the grounds that this was not a Polynesian custom. Inlaid eyes were a common feature that many of the oldest images in the Middle East, from Egypt to the Indus Valley. The seafaring Hittites, for example, adopted the practice from the Sumerians. Many prehistoric American stone statues also had inlaid eyes. Now this is something that we did across the world, and other cultures ended up picking up. And so you see the solar bird deities, Egypt, Easter Island. You see the bird with the sun. This is in Easter Island too. The bird with the sun. I don't know if anybody seen the last Reconnecting the Ancestors. If you haven't, you should check it out. I left this out. This is an Olmec praying under the mushroom. Okay, so now you have this found in Mesopotamia. The same thing is found across the ocean in Ecuador, and this is also found in Ecuador. It looks just like a Mesopotamian scribe. You can't tell me that's not a brother. This is also found in Ecuador, the pyramid with the sun on top, with the elephant, which is indigenous to Africa. There you go. Oh, okay. You have Ecuador, Egypt. This is the same exact thing. The sun representation and all. Here's the Sphinx representation, Etruscan in China, Sumeria, India, Greece, and of course Egypt. And Egypt has all kinds of Sphinx. Now here you have in Mesopotamia, we have the Anunnaki, quote unquote, which is far from aliens, harvesting maize, which is not found in that area. And although the character in the image changes from one image to another, and artistic significance is maintained over the certain features as the bucket and the wristband with the cob. Now you come back over here to the Mayan civilization. It's the same bucket. It's the same thing found all the way in Mexico. Now this is obviously something that's been destroyed throughout time, so there's no telling what other representations it had with it. There you go. Again with the maize corn all the way in India, which is a indigenous plant or vegetable that's grown in the Americas. Now you have man, woman, and child, something a lot of people are familiar with when it comes to Egypt. But this is what you find on Solomon Island. This is what you will find in the ancient Maya, the original Holy Trinity. Now let's get into some of the symbolism of the priests, the priesthood that took this around the world. As the priest king found in Mohenjo-daro. Now as you see, he has a third eye. This is something they found in the area where they discovered this statue, and it just so happened to fit right inside that little circle. There's a third eye representation. And as you see, somebody went out there with it and knocked the nose off of him too. Now you have the third eye representation with the Mayan. And here's the Aztec representation. Now we're going to take a look at the symbolism of the priesthood. There's Mayan, Mesopotamia, Peru, and Aztec. All of them have a similar gesture of covering their navel or their hands across the stomach. There you go again in ancient Sumeria. The priest, hands across the stomach, hands across the stomach. These are the people that took the knowledge across the world, even in Egypt. Hands across the navel. We got them in, this is the ancient Aztec priest, hands across the navel. This is in Mesopotamia, South Sahara, Olmec statue in Veracruz, Mexico. You got Mexico right here. This is found in West Mesopotamia. This is in South Africa, and this is the Olmec statue. This is the same thing. This is here is Easter Island. Same thing. This is also Easter Island. Hands across the across the navel. You got the same thing in Solomon Island. Hands across the navel. Here's another representation of Easter Island. Now you have a Mayan meditating priest. This is another Mayan. This is one found in Mesopotamia. This is one found in Peru, and this is the Aztec. Now, it was long suspected that there was a connection between early dynastic Egyptians and the Sumerians. The knife found at the Royal Cemetery in Abydos, which with its depiction of Gilgamesh, is proof enough. But the following information suggests that this prehistoric cultural link may have been stronger than once thought. Now you have Gilgamesh in Mohenjo-Daro right here in the Indus Valley. Now you have Samaria in the middle, and you have it also in Abydos in Egypt. Now you have stone seals with intricate carving were found below. They correspond similar to Iraqi seals from the mid-3rd millennium BC. Some of these seals were almost the exact same as those found in ancient Sumerian sites. So these are seals found in 3 different places. This one being the Mohenjo-Daro. This one being, no, all of these are Mohenjo-Daro. You can tell by the text. And then these right here are the Sumerian, and these right here are from Iraq. Now we're gonna get into the Chinese script right quick, just so I can show y'all a little something. Now, in the next one, I'm going to be getting deeper into this language and cultural similarities, and not so much as to the artwork and structures. Now you have an Indus Valley seal that's usually orientated. Look at the orientation. Look at the orientation. I want you to take a second and look at this, the Chinese seal, which is read downwards, and not across like, and not like this one. Now you have the same sign and sequence in the earliest Chinese, meaning year celebration. Now take a look at this. You have this Y looking with the O with the line going through it and the line next to it. You have the same thing here, right here going down. It's the same thing as this. Now why is that relative? We're going to get to that. Now you have 2 Indus Valley seals corresponding with Rapa Nu symbols to illustrate the similarity between the characters. Okay, so this is why I found that intriguing. This is Indus Valley, this is Easter Island. You can clearly see the similarities in their text. It just jumps out at you. Now these are two scripts that have yet to be completely deciphered. But finding these similarities is going to take that to the next level. Hopefully soon someone comes along and is able to decipher this, because these are also 2 civilizations that are separated by an ocean. And as you see, their texts, their scripts have texts that are very similar. And we're going to get to this spiral symbolism briefly. It's found in ancient America, Ireland, Greece, and we all know the first 300 years of Greece was black. Africa and the Nazca lines, Egypt and Armenia. Here goes one of the Nazca. Okay, this is something I'm going to touch on more in the next series. The sites: Giza, Siwa, Machu Picchu, Nazca, Easter Island, Mohenjo-Daro, arrow shown clockwise from Giza on an equal azimuthal projection below. That shit is on a circle. I don't know why the fuck they use that word. The projection is centered on an axis point in southeastern Alaska. The Great Pyramid is aligned with Machu Picchu, the Nazca lines, and Easter Island along a straight line around the center of the Earth, within a margin of error of less than 1/10 of 1 degree of latitude. Other sites of ancient construction were also within 1/10 of 1 degree of this line, and it includes the Indus Valley, Mohenjo-Daro, ancient Persia, the ancient city of Sumeria, the temples of Angkor Wat. This is why I'm going through these. This isn't a coincidence. The priesthood took this and did this. If you lined up any two of these sites on the horizon ring, all of these sites would be right on the horizon. So for you flat earthers, if the earth was flat, all these cities would be on a complete straight line across from each other. Here's another representation right here. And to this guy, it wasn't fucking aliens, it was Africans.